Hello there. Welcome to a can of worms. I'm glad you could make it today. I'm going to be talking about, are there two constitutions? I'm going to present the evidence as I found it, and you can make your own conclusions. Now, I found this in a Telegram group called the White Hats. And they start off by quoting Secretary Pompeo. That wasn't that long ago. Quote, "An assault on our sovereignty happened in 1871. You just don't know that's when that we live in started." Now, personally, I think that word, we've been in it for thousands of years. But then again, I suppose he meant we put ourselves into a false reality with the Act of 1871, and I'll explain. This was right after the Civil War, and we were devastated financially. We didn't have any money. South needed to be rebuilt. There need to be programs, for the freed slaves and things, and there's a lot going on. So what did they do? Congress went and the politicians went to international bankers. Now, these weren't just any international bankers like some group. It was these guys. And they were in London at that time. They were just in London. Okay, now that's important. Senator Pompeo goes on to say, "This matters because assault on sovereignty destabilize, impoverish, and enslave." We were meant by the Creator, I believe, to have free will, to go about our lives and try to be happy, as the Constitution says. Pursuit of happiness is a God-given right, and it's in our Constitution, our original Constitution, which, of course, as you know, was born on July 4th, 1776. Yeah, I had to go look that up, excuse me, because it didn't sound right. That's what was in the article. But of course, the Declaration of Independence was 1776. The Constitution was ratified in 1788. There were a series of meetings, conventions. That's when it was finalized. So I apologize for that. This worked great until 1871. The first Constitution was titled Constitution for the United States of America. In other words, for the people, for the states, right? So when the second Constitution reads, the Constitution of the United States of America, well, what difference does one little word make anyway? Well, since they went to they weren't just going to hand over a brand new country lots and lots of money without serious stipulations. Now, we're stationed in London, as I said before, and that's important. Who did we just fight to get our freedom from? So we incurred serious debt to these people. They took these stipulations, they made them write this second Constitution, and they made the District of Columbia sovereign state. It's a state within a state. In other words, it's a city state. I just have to check my notes, bear with me. It has its own flag, its own constitution. The flag has 3 red stars on the top and 2 red bars on the bottom with a white background. Now, according to this article, they believe that the 3 red stars indicates 3 city-states. Of course, now there was the District of Columbia. Did you know London was a city-state? In other words, if the Vatican is a city-state, they're like their own sovereign nations. The United States became the military arm. London was the banking arm of it. And the Vatican, they called it in the article spiritual, but I call it religious propaganda, brainwashing arm. Anyway. So London operates under Vatican law, and it's called Lex Fori in Latin. The English word for it is law of the forum. And what does that mean, law of the forum? In essence, the forum can follow and make its own laws. Scared yet? Well, I think you've heard, you're probably more familiar with the Vatican being a city-state. And I was surprised when London was found out to be, and then I knew Washington, D.C. was. So it operates like a corporation. You've probably heard that if you're watching this channel, that some people call the United States a corporation now. Well, this is some background digging that I wanted to do to see what they meant by that, how it happened. So it operates outside the original Constitution, and it operates for its own uses and its own agendas, not ours. It's just a big kind of show, guys. Shakespeare's all the world's a stage and we're all actors, at least in some areas of the world I know. Okay, now, the President of the United States acts like the CEO of this corporation. The board of directors is like cabinet officials that he appoints. The managers are the senators and the Congress people. Okay. The President of the United States, except for number 45, takes order from the City of London through the RIIA, which stands for the Royal Institute of International Affairs. Okay. RIIA equals a society of, that word, under the red word. The American equivalent to this, excuse me, some would call them black word. The American equivalent would be the red word, or CFR. The Act of 1871 put us back under British rule. Here we are indebted to bankers who are located in London. Who did we just fight again, right? So basically, put us back under British rule. They bought us back. It's becoming clear that the government is not operating according to the US Constitution. The original US Constitution, they're trying to dismantle, and they'll have their own. Who knows what it'll be like? I mean, I know what they're trying to do. Rich and powerful people exert undue influence on this corporation. We know that, including actors and actresses. These corrupt people are not competing with each other. They're acting in unison for this goal. I mean, I know there's infighting, but their goal is the same. Complete control of the masses. The U.S. Constitution is now only a facade to deceive and placate the masses. It is replaced by a blue word, secret, because control is not yet secure. And you see how the pieces fit together? They want black word. A man with the initials PG, who's a computer guy, is now the largest farmland owner in the United States. What does he know about farming? Nothing. He lets it lie fallow. It's not growing anything. Just think, what's a great tool for controlling people? They have to eat, right? Consider this, supply line disruption. Shutting down the pipeline increases the price of gas. Obviously, we've seen that. People staying inside and not getting their D3 naturally, and fighting, and it's not good for you. That's why the flu is more prevalent. This is from a good friend of mine. In the winter, because we're staying indoors more. We need to get out in the sunshine. But they lock us up indoors. It's unhealthy. What they call, and then they give us the red word. What happens? Businesses shut down. It's siphoning off of our wealth. Who was it that said, "We will have nothing and be happy"? Happy? I doubt that. Unless they tell us we don't have to work and give us a paycheck. Some people might be happy with that, but some people need a purpose. Well, a smaller population is easier to control. And it's called, their plan, have a name for it. 45 set them back 4 years and they're scrambling now. That's why they're going fast and it's more obvious than it ever was before. It's a good thing for us. Yay, 45. That's all I have for today. Next video I'm going to do is going into the difference between a democracy and a republic. Very interesting. Please, if you enjoy my videos, hit the like, share, and subscribe button. I used to be on Twitter. I had 12,000 followers, and of course, it was Evo. But, you know, I still want to talk to you guys. I've been researching for 3 or 4 years. I mean, I actually don't remember when I first woke up exactly. It wasn't one day. It was a series of several months before I, wait a minute here. This is very suspicious. So, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.